welcome back to Toyota Sports Talk. Mystics basketball, it is back in DC, and we are so excited to be sitting down with one of the new rookies on this year's squad, Kiki Iriafen. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here in DC. I felt so much love from the fans, from strangers on the street, and people just like excited about what the Mystics can bring this season. So I'm just super excited and grateful to be here.
That's incredible. Have you had a second to, breathe a little bit? We were just saying, you do the NCAA tournament, you get drafted, you're thrown into a new environment. I mean, it can't be easy for anybody.
No, and I'm still in school, so I've been like doing group projects. I'm online right now, so LA's behind us, so it's like 9 p.m. here, and I'm still doing classes. But it's kind of been a whirlwind, but I think it's such an exciting time. Great problems to have. But I'm settling in a little bit more, so it's okay.
Has it hit you that you're a WNBA player? I mean, you put the uniform on that first time. I mean, just your expression on your face, I can see this is very special.
Yes, I think really putting on the jersey, putting on the uniform is like when I'm like, wow, like I'm a professional athlete. But I think it'll hit me even more once we have our first game and I get my first, round of minutes. But it's crazy, like Slim playing with her now when I used to, train with her when I was in high school, and just like seeing these women that you see on TV and now to be their teammates and then to be competing against some of the other ones is just super surreal, and it's like, wow, like all of your hard work has paid off.
Incredible, and yes, it has. I want to, get to know you a little bit and make sure everyone in the DC community gets to know you and gets to love you. Who are you? I mean, we'll talk about your game in a second, but let's just talk about the person that you are. Yeah. Who is Kiki Iriafen?
I'm just someone who's very bubbly and joyful. Like I have such a bubbly personality, and I think on the court I'm like more stone cold. But I just love being around people. People truly fill up my cup. So I love hanging out with my friends. I love FaceTiming them. I love being around my family. So I plan, like in DC, I plan to, engage myself in the community and not just be tucked away in my apartment. But yeah, I'm just someone who just loves to live life and, explore different things.
Have people given you recs, museums, restaurants, all that good stuff? I hope so, at least.
Well, Shug is like obsessed with museums, so okay, I'm probably gonna go somewhere with her maybe. But I've just been like on TikTok, like what are DMV eats? So I've been like recommended a few good places that I'll need to try out soon.
Okay, good. Now, in terms of, I want to go back to the draft. We saw you in this gorgeous golden dress. You gave a nod to your Nigerian heritage. Why was that so important for you to do?
I think just, on one of the biggest days of my life, being able to showcase my culture, something that wasn't always easy to do. Growing up, I feel like it was kind of a knock. You didn't really want to showcase your culture, and I think now, it's being more accepted and appreciated, and I was like, on one of the biggest days of my life, why not, showcase a big part of who I am and, my family and the people back home who support me. So it's just super special, and I feel like the older that I'm getting, I'm just being more authentic to myself.
Yeah, and you mentioned, there's so much to be proud about your heritage. You said everything you do it through excellence, and kind of expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, so there's a Nigerian saying, Naija no de carry last, and it's exactly that. Like in everything that you do, you can be excellent, you should be excellent. Like if someone else can do it, you can do it even better. So there's just a lot of confidence that comes with that, and I feel like being a Nigerian is kind of like that extra push. And I have so many supporters who like, they don't even know me, but the fact that I'm Nigerian, like they're like, we want to support you, and I feel like that just shows an example of like what the Nigerian community is. Like we support each other like no other.
I want to go back to now your time at Stanford and USC, because what's so unique about this rookie class and any class essentially moving forward coming into the W is that you're forced to kind of be a professional even before you get here. I know you get that because you have been nothing but NIL these last couple of years. Yeah. Do you feel like you maybe have a step ahead of everybody, just because you've been essentially a professional for years at this point?
Yeah, it's crazy because I started college when NIL was first introduced, but it was very like little. It wasn't as big until my junior year, and then obviously my senior year. So to see the growth of it has just been kind of insane. And truly, like, you have to conduct yourself like you are a business, you are a brand. So kind of learning what you need to say, being media trained, all that stuff, I feel like I've already gone through that. So it's made like things like this, or like, all the media that I have to do with the Mystics, like a lot easier, because I've kind of been, prepared with that. And then just like having the opportunity to already build relationships with brands while you're in high school, and then as a pro they want to keep that on and definitely expand what the partnership looks like. But I think it's such a great opportunity to have NIL, and I'm excited to see like what is it like being endorsed as a professional.
Oh my gosh, well, you are a step ahead of everyone at this point, so that's incredible. Let's talk about your game now at this point, because you mentioned you step on the court, you're a little bit stone cold, but what do you pride yourself on the most when you do step on the court?
I think I'm relentless. Like, I run the floor really well. I'm a great rebounder, and those are kind of the two things that I can like always rely on. Like, you can always run fast, you can always rebound the ball, maybe when shots aren't falling. So those are like the two things that I think are my bread and butter. And as I'm doing training camp, like, I've been given so much advice about just staying true to yourself, not trying to do too much. So those are two things that I'm definitely leaning in: running the floor really well, getting those rebounds. And then something that I talked to Coach Johnson about during my interviews was like defensively. I feel like this past season I've been challenged, I've gotten so much better, and like I want to take that challenge here at the next level as well. Guarding guards, guarding kind of 1 through 5, and you know, we have some great people in the league, so I know it's not going to be easy, but something that I want to step up to. I want to be in all defensive conversations. So I think I'm just excited to kind of be at the bottom as a rookie and have to earn every single thing that I get.
Yeah, and you have the right mindset in terms of wanting to learn, wanting to know pretty much everything it takes to be a rookie and a player at this level. Let's talk about this group, because there's so much new here in DC. Yes. In terms of the new head coach. You mentioned Cindy Johnson. We've got a new GM, and of course this wonderful, bountiful rookie class that you're a part of. How excited are you to now be a part of this kind of fresh start here in Washington?
I think it's super exciting to, you know, the Mystics have been established, but to be a part of building something new, I think it's like you give yourself a pat on the back that your coaches and the organization believes in you to help carry out their vision. But then two, you know, leaning on the vets that have been here to see what does that look like. I've never played a WNBA game, so what does it look like? How should I be carrying myself, which I've already taken so much from them in the past few days. And then I think this rookie class, we just bring so much youth, and our vets are kind of talking about that, like we're keeping them young. So I think it's just super exciting to, you know, kind of be doing it together. Like, I'm not a solo rookie, I have 4 other rookies with me, so to kind of have like a group of girls to go through this journey with.
You mentioned some things you've already learned from the veterans, from the other rookies, just the personalities. I mean, there's so much personality and so much love that you guys already have for each other. It's evident. What are some of the things you've learned from this group so far?
We are just like, we're such competitors, but we have a humility about us. So even though we're going at each other, like the vets are like, Kiki, if you do this tip and trick, it'll make it easier for you to guard this, or easier for you to score. And for me, I'm like, wow, I really appreciate that, because we are competing, but you're like still willing to look out for me. So I think just a selflessness about all of us. Like, we know when it's time to compete. We know when it's time to love on one another. And just seeing the way that Slim and Steph carry themselves every single day. They don't take any reps off. They work super hard. And I'm like, if someone in year 9 and 13 can work like this every day, I have no excuse as a rookie. So just, I feel like we have great examples here to look up to.
That's awesome. And in terms of, you know, yes, you mentioned that competitive atmosphere that you guys provide, but is that coming from a head coach? We're still trying to learn about Sydney Johnson as well as you all as well. So in terms of that style of play, what can you tell us? I know you're early on, obviously, in terms of what we can expect from this team this season.
We have like a bunch of core values, and one of the biggest things is that we're playing hard, we're competing, we're getting better every single day. So it's something that he's said from day one, like before training camp started, we're competing, like everybody's competing. Every single day you're gonna get better. And what I love about Coach Johnson and the staff is like they see us as people first and not just basketball players. I've had like coaches meetings with them, and I thought it was gonna be all about basketball, and it really wasn't. It was about, who is Kiki? What do you like to do? So to have that personal level with my coaches, I feel like is super important. But they're like, once we step on this court, it's go time. But off the court, like, we want to get to know each other. We want to get to know you. So I think we have a great balance of like, you know, work time, and then also, you know, getting to know each other.
You got to have that work-life balance. I'll say it doesn't matter what the job is or what sport you're playing. I'm assuming, have been a fan of the W most of your life, if not your entire life. Was there a current player, former player that you really emulated your game off of, or said, okay, I want to be that when I'm in the league?
Yeah, honestly, I got into basketball pretty late, so it wasn't until I started hearing about like, oh, maybe I could go to college for basketball, maybe I could play professionally, that I started like tuning in to the WNBA. But Candace Parker and Lisa Leslie were the people that I grew up with, like watching, and like, you know, they're from the LA, like they're on the Spark, so I'm from LA as well. So it was just people that I could look up to. And then as I got older and really started to formulate myself, I think I would say Asia Wilson and Nafisa Collier were 2 of the women that I see my game model after the most. And, you know, I've, you know, met them a few times, and just being able to see like, wow, like all that you guys have accomplished. And they've been in the league for a while, but still not that long, and they've accomplished so much. So I definitely look up to them, and I'm excited to compete against them. And it'll be different, you know, it's like seeing people on TV that you look up to and now having to go at them.
And that's going to be the same for everyone who has been watching you at UCLA and Stanford. They're going to say, that's our girl in a Mystics uniform, and we're so excited. Thank you so much for sitting down with us. We appreciate it, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, Kiki Iriafen joining us today on Toyota Sports Talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.